Boom, welcome back to Nick White Classics. It's time to clean some carts. Today we have 3 Nintendo NES cartridges we're going to clean out. You can see we have them labeled A, B, and C. And so depending on which carts you'd like to reveal, just type it in the chat, A, B, or C. We're going to flip over the cartridge, reveal the game, and then we're going to clean it out. But before we get to that, we have a cartridge from last time that we need to super glue back together. So here's the chip for Snake, Rattle, and Roll. And we're just going to set this aside for a moment. And this little plastic piece snapped off the inside, so we're going to glue it back on. Was it this side? Yeah, no, it was this side here. So we have this little tiny plastic piece that we need to crazy glue back onto the case here, and then we'll put the chip back in and screw it back together. So let's see if I can get a little glue on there. Okay, so I'm just gonna place a tiny dab of crazy glue on here where that plastic broke off. Here we go, slow and easy. Should put some on this side as well. Make sure it stays this time so we don't have to open it back up. Very gently, very carefully. Just gonna stick this plastic piece back on here. It says apply pressure for 10 seconds. And then the glue should dry, and then we can screw it back together and see if it plays. Oh, stuck to my glove, so I'm not sure that's gonna work. There we go. Okay, cool. We'll let that dry, and then we'll move on to the next. So which cartridge should we clean first, A, B, or C? Go ahead and chime in the chat if you like. And if I don't hear from anybody, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick the dirtiest cart. Start there. So we have 3 cartridges, A, B, and C. They're all from Nintendo NES. Which one should we clean first? Just add it to the chat, and that's where we're gonna start today. C. Okay, you got it. So C, and that's a good call because this is by far the dirtiest of the 3. What's happening? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Nick White Classics. You picked, boom. This is Blood, Water, and Rage. Is that right? Sweet. Town and Country Surf Design, Pearl City, Hawaii. It says Wood and Water Rage. So it's a surfing game, right? And a skating game too, it looks like. Surfboards, skateboards, gorillas. Looks cool. I'm not sure. I feel like I've played this before, but I do not remember the gameplay. So let's get it cleaned off, and then we'll do another live stream and play it on the Nintendo NES. Let's get it cleaned up front and back. Let's see, is there a year on here? Yeah, published in 1987. So this is an early game for the Nintendo NES. I mean, look, I've got Atari 2600 games that are from 1987, so. What's happening? Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. We're just cleaning off cartridges. We have 2 more after this, A and B. And if you have a preference which one we do next, just chime in to the chat and we'll get there next. There is some residue on the back that I want to hit. Try to clean off with the isopropyl alcohol. So I'm just going to pour some in a cap and grab a Q-tip. Get to scrubbing. So right here, I think this might have been a price tag or something like that, but we don't need that on there. I'm going to try and scrub that off. Just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and some rubbing. Some elbow grease. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is just a quick lunchtime cart cleaning. We just got a couple to clean today, so if you're into this kind of thing, if you're into retro gaming, definitely subscribe to the channel. After we get these cleaned, we're gonna eventually play them on the live stream and just get super nostalgic about the NES. Also, we play some Atari 2600 games, we play Nintendo GameCube, etc. So yeah, so we have A and B remaining. These are both Nintendo NES games. Go ahead and type in the chat which you'd like to see next, and that's the one that we're going to clean next. We're going to clean the outside and the inside, and we're going to make sure that they're in tip-top peak condition for gameplay, so that yeah, we can keep them alive and continue to play them, continue to enjoy the games from way back when. Again, this game is from 1987. It looks like a surfing game for the Nintendo NES. Wow, you can see how dirty that is. Quite a dirty one here, so glad we started here. We'll get this cleaned off. Just hitting the chipboard with the isopropyl. Make sure those little pins on that board are clean and free of any debris. And then we'll move on to the next. Should we do A or B next? I'll let you pick. If there's no preference, I'll just go with the next dirtiest cartridge. And that looks to be A. Let's go with A. What do we got? Big reveal. Bounce it on. The Addams Family. There you go. It's seen better days. It's definitely in rough shape, but it's a classic game for the Nintendo NES, based on classic characters. You can see on the cover. This is from the film, the Addams Family movie. I'm trying to see if I see a year on there, and I do not see a year. You can see it's licensed by Nintendo. Oh yeah, we're gonna clean the inside as well. We're doing cleaning the inside and the out. Today we just have 3 cartridges to clean. Picked these up with a obviously used, with a Nintendo NES not too long ago. They're all in pretty rough shape, so before I even put them in to see if they work, I just thought clean them out really good. Just start by disinfecting the outside, and then we're gonna get our isopropyl on our Q-tips and clean the inside chips. You can see there's a ton of dust and debris in there, so this will definitely benefit from a quick clean out. Just gonna start by getting the dust out with the Q-tip. Okay, not as bad as the last one, but still quite a lot in there. And I'm gonna use the other side to swab off the chipboard. Try to go live, either playing retro games or cleaning retro games or otherwise retro game content a few days a week. So if you're into that kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, stay tuned. So with that cleaned, we're just gonna move on to the next. I might just make sure that it's dry in there. There was quite a lot of isopropyl on that one, so I just wanna hit it with a dry swab real quick. Looks pretty good. And that's Addams Family for the Nintendo NES. And before we move to B, I just want to reassemble this. I'm sure that our crazy glue is dry by now, so we're gonna, the chips face out towards the graphics, so we're gonna put it in like this. Put the back cover on here. And then put our screws back in, just 3 little screws. Yeah, I've never actually, I don't think I've played the Addams Family game for the Nintendo NES, but I'm looking forward to trying it. Couldn't find a year on that. Sure it came out like around the same time that the film came out, probably the same year. The surf game, yeah. That's another one that looks super cool. And again, I vaguely recall playing that one, but man, That's from 1987. So yeah, I don't know. Hope it's fun though. Looking forward to playing it on the live stream after we clean it out. Okay, there we go. So that snake rattle and roll from last time. Before we heard something rattling on the inside, no pun intended, and we got it glued back together now with some crazy glue, and should be good to play. Looking forward to trying it. And finally, we have B. Let's see what we got. Last game, 1992. Good call. It's an action adventure platforming game based on the 91 film. Nice. So finally, we have Clash at Demon Head. Boom. There you have it. This is a Nintendo NES game that I'm not very familiar with. It says made in Japan. It says Vic Tokai. Nintendo official licensing seal. Again, don't see a year on the front, but I see a year on the back. 1985. Man. So this is a very old Nintendo NES game. I think the NES came out in the mid 80s, so was it 1984? So this is one of the first games that came out for the NES. Within the first year or two of the Nintendo Entertainment Center, this game came out. Clash at Demon Head. I've never played this one. Yes, sir. There we go. My favorite of the four, man, I don't know. Just guessing would definitely be the surfing game because that's the only one of the four that I know that I've played. But tell you what, let's go live, play all four of them on the Nintendo NES on an old CRT monitor. And after that, I'll have a better sense of which of the four is a better game. I'm super interested in playing this one. It looks kind of cool. It looks like you got some demons on there in like a flying car, some laser beams. Yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Some kind of action adventure game, I take it. There you go. Let's clean the inside. Actually, there's a little more gunk on the outside, so this one looks like maybe it had some soda spilled on it or something. Make sure we get in there and clean it off. $1985. Okay, with the outside clean, let's go on the inside. There is quite a lot of buildup on this one. Grab a new Q-tip, get in there with some isopropyl and get it cleaned up. Okay, let's get that chipboard. Yeah, that's definitely has a little bit of buildup on it. We're gonna clean that off. Swab it out with some isopropyl and hopefully it plays. Yeah, there's something about these retro games, especially from the 80s and even the older ones from the 70s, like on the Atari 2600. These games have become like my favorite sort of thing to collect nowadays. So this is very much a passion project of mine, just trying to find all the retro games I can, clean them off, try to play them, try to beat them. Yeah, back in the day, we used to make sure to blow into each of these before you played, and that was simply to blow any dust out. But the problem with that is any spit particles could get on there and potentially get some moisture into your chip, which you don't want to do. So what we do now is use a high alcohol percentage to clean off any dirt and dust that is built up in there, and then use a cotton swab to get out any dust. Looks pretty good in there now. So there you have it. This is Clash at Demon Head. We had Adam's Family. We have a surfing game called Wood and Water. And then from leftover from before, we have Snake, Rattle, and Roll. We have 4 new Nintendo NES games that are all cleaned up and ready to play. Thanks for tuning in to Cleaning Carts. This is a real quick lunch hour edition. If you're into retro gaming and that kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a good one. We'll see you next time. Later on. Brett's tuning in. Welcome. We are just wrapping up, man, but thanks for tuning in. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out the first episode of my new show, which is called Hunting for Classics, where I track down classic video games at local shops. So again, thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you later.